right, YouTube, we got a treat today because we're heading out to Lansing. Now, for those of you that don't know, I started brewing professionally out in Lansing for MichiGrain Distillery about 2020. And when I went out there, the pro brewers out there were so cool and so helpful. It was awesome. They invited me into their group, which I'm now a part of. We're called the Greater Lansing Brewers. We do beer trails and stuff. So check out all the Greater Lansing Brewers. Great group of brewers, pro brewers, really helpful. They helped me because I didn't know what I was doing. And they helped. One of the dudes that helped me the most, you're going to meet in this video. Okay, we're going to cruise out there. That's why I'm not drinking right now. Because I'm getting ready to cruise out to Lansing. I'm just kidding. I'm drinking. Just one. Not drinking. Got 12 stouts of Krampus. Here, this one is the s'mores version. Look at that. It's on nitro too. You see that nitro head on there? You missed the cascading action, but we'll get that shot next time. Anyways, I'm babbling. We got a lot of tasting. That's what I forgot to tell you. I'm going out to Lansing because we have a meeting for the Greater Lansing Brewers. But before the meeting, I'm going to shoot on over to Sleepwalker, where my buddy is going to taste some of the beers that we did for the yeast experiment, BrewTubers 2023 yeast experiment. Nick, when he sent out the beers, he had a little extra room in the box, so he sent me some extras. I set those aside. I'm like, I know just who wants to taste these beers, and that is the brewer and owner, Sleepwalker. So we're going to cruise out to Lansing after I finish his beer, and we're going to meet him. He's going to taste them, and we're going to film it. See you out there.
This is the 2023 BrewTubers Online Brewers Club Yeast Experiment, British Brown Ale. Thanks to our sponsors: Imperial Yeast, 5 Star Chemicals, Yakima Valley Hops, Beer and Wine Hobby Homebrew Store, and Brewers Hardware. Let's get tasting.
My glasses? Billy's glasses.
So
what is this? I'm tasting. These are all brewed with the same yeast?
no. We did a yeast experiment. We all brewed the same exact brown ale, English brown.
Okay.
And we just changed the yeast. So this one is mine, the first one.
With all the fancy labeling.
Yeah. WLP002. I want you to introduce yourself to the people.
Hey, I'm Jeremy Sprague. I'm the president and head brewer of Sleepwalker Spirits and Ale Incorporated here in Reotown, Lansing, Michigan.
Hell yeah, he is. Best brewer I know.
I learned everything I know from Billy Carpenter.
Opposite of that. That's backwards. All right, you ready to taste this first one?
Yes, I am.
WLP002.
White Labs?
Yep, White Labs.
Ooh, pretty. Ooh, it's a light brown.
Yeah, this one's
I like it. All right, dude. You got it? You got the... What do you want out? That's good?
Yeah, that's good.
All right, brother.
Cheers.
Easy peasy, man. Holy shit. You got some nice lacing starting in there.
Mm-hmm. What do you think? What do you think of the aroma, first of all?
So, right off the bat, I mean, I can pay attention to the aroma as we move forward. I don't think I need tasting notes, but I love lacing. I love that. I also love the color. This is like, ooh, getting a little bitter smack in the way back, which is interesting. So I wasn't getting that at first. Really nice light color. So yeast-wise, and these are all
English yeast.
all but 4 different yeasts?
Yep, these are 4 different yeasts. Now, all the ones that you're going to be trying are English yeast, which, you know, traditionally is supposed to get out of the way for the other ingredients.
What's the ABV on this?
This one is 4.7.
Wow. Well,
see how he was looking on the can? I forgot to put the stats on the can. Everyone else did.
Wow. Wow. Just joking. Yeast-wise, oh, this is White Labs.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, it's really passive and mild. And it's really easy peasy. It's like, this yeast, for me, this doesn't interfere much with the style or
it lets the malt shine.
It's kind of, yeah, I suppose that's a nice way of saying it. I feel like it's a nice, again, a passive light brown ale with not a lot of interference from yeast or, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I think sometimes with English, this is supposed to be a British brown, kind of English.
Yeah. Yep.
I think sometimes with like English browns, you can get a pretty heavy, well, I guess sometimes you can get like a heavy malt character too, but this is really balanced. I'm not getting blasted with malt, hops, or yeast. I feel like this one so far is just combined to kind of move through my olfactory in a really relaxed, simple way.
Nice.
So yeah, that's what I'm getting. I mean, I'm not getting a lot of pungent yeast notes in this beer.
And what yeast do you have any experience with English yeast?
So yeah, I tend to use I think it's SO4 quite a bit. Although I did use on my last, I have kind of like a dry hop brown that I do. That's delicious. This is just really light and easy. I can't really discern any massive impact from the yeast, but of course what I like to do in these moments is kind of keep some so that once I get them all 4 out there, I do like to do that if that's cool with you.
Good, no, totally.
I like to go 1, 2, 3 and back and forth and kind of, it's nice to start with a base that's really simple.
And then the next one we'll be trying is the Bedford Bell Ringer.
Ooh.
Which is the Bedford British Ale yeast from White Labs.
Oh, cool. I have never had that.
All right.
I think I may have had this, but not that one.
Here we go.
And these are from members of your homebrew club?
Wow. Yep.
Nice.
The BrewTubers online homebrew club.
Oh, very cool. Ooh, this one's a little darker. Nice head.
That is Matt from Wrecked Brewing.
Nice. Now, are these up and running breweries or are these private home brewers?
These are home brewers.
Nice.
Yep.
All right. To Matt.
Matt. Cheers.
Cheers. Ooh, now here, right off the bat, you know, it's funny. I think you can get a slightly better handle on the yeast, at least right now. I am right here. And here I feel a blast of yeast more kind of steering me on this one, whereas that one. What I'm getting here is this kind of classic, I always say sometimes with like British stuff, like you can get this classic malty shine. I don't know if that makes any sense. Sometimes when I say things, it's weird, but I'm getting that shiny maltiness coming in. And also I had a kind of a nice blast of yeast just from the first sniff.
I get a little bit of nuttiness from this one too.
I'm getting a lot of in this one for some reason, and I know it's subjective, but on this one I'm getting this kind of sweet side wash of like, again, that kind of malty shine. But that, of course, I'm supposed to be able to taste the difference between these yeasts, or at least try to see what I'm liking or not liking. But so far, they're both delicious. This one feels incredibly British in my nose.
It says it says it produces a distinct ester profile.
So maybe that's what I'm getting. I wonder what temperature he fermented this at. Do you keep those stats?
Yeah, we did them all the same at, I think we fermented 65.
65. Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow.
I believe
That's kind of
what
cool.
we did them at.
Wow.
Yeah, we wanted the only variable to be the yeast. We even, most of us ordered all the ingredients from the same shop.
Sure. But then if you're fermenting at 65, wouldn't you think you're not going to get estery phenolic action from the yeast as much as you would if you were up at 68, 69?
Possibly, but
I mean,
I think it was more about just leveling the playing field for
sure.
all the yeast, you know. But
it is interesting.
If it's coming out, if I don't remember what we did, but if we did do it at 65, I would think, yeah, if you were up at 68, 70,
I feel like you'd get more. But you would get more esters and stuff, right? I mean,
I really like this one.
I do too. It's got that kind of British malty shine. It's kind of good. I like it. I like them both so far.
This next one's...
Which personally, I know I'm not Mr. Pro at all.
Oh, you are
Mr. Pro. But it's like I love tasting really great home brewed beer.
Yeah.
And so far that's what I'm getting. And I like it. It's a big turn on, and it makes me happy to taste beer that's made at home that is that good. Yeah. I've had your beer plenty.
No, my beer sucks. This is
bullshit. But that is that's very good. Plus, the other issue, of course, is that you guys everyone has their own seamer at home, canner.
Yeah.
I mean, that's high level.
There was one guy that bottled, but
yeah, and that's high level brewing for home. You want me to look into the camera?
No, that's all right. You can.
No, that's fine.
We're just
good.
Tasting here. This is a couple
for
of
sure.
buddies tasting
Totally,
beers.
and I'm really enjoying it. But I'm going to save these because again, I'm gonna go back and forth, over. And then someone's gonna have to drive up to DeWitt.
Yeah, you
probably.
This next one is this guy here, Sean from Brookside Brews. He does brew professionally.
Oh
too,
wow, cool.
But he is a home brewer.
Very nice.
As well as
I wish I had time to home brew still.
Oh, and I didn't say what this yeast was. This is...
Ooh.
Which one did you do? Oh, this is the WLP 005 by White.
What was this one, by the way? That was the Bedford.
That one is WLP 006.
So you guys all use White Labs?
No, just that happened to be the ones that I gave you. There were some other yeast in the mix.
Are these all four White Labs?
No, the last one.
Oh, cool. Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. I just wasn't sure. All right, so this is going out to Sean. Cheers to Sean.
Cheers. The pro brewer. No pressure.
Ooh, now wait. Right off the bat, like what I'm getting here is that kind of stone. Are you smelling that at all? Like right before you even sip it, it's like a very kind of stone. I don't want to say stone soup, but I like that sort of mineral kind of blast in your nose, which I'm getting here, which is different than these two.
Mm-hmm. I'm getting a little bit of fruitiness too in the nose.
I got a lot of fruitiness out of Matt's personally, but this so far, like that hard mineral smack, like a rock, which is kind of an interesting taste. And I find that shape for me in beer sometimes, not copper, just like stone. Oh yeah, more malty. And a little teeny bit of chocolate in there, something.
There is a little chocolate in the recipe.
There is?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Chocolate malt?
Pale chocolate.
Is it Fawcett?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Mm. So that stone kind of punch is hanging in there. But it's like I'm also getting that shiny, but this one is saying glossy, kind of British maltiness. I love how the hops so far in all these is just kind of like chill. Mm-hmm. The second one was fruity, which may or may not have come from the hops. I mean, you can get those fruit notes totally from the grain bill. God, all three are just these
good, aren't
really
they?
Nice,
very subtly different,
very subtle browns. Like the brown that I make here, it's like kind of more of like a Good Humans kind of hoppy. So I love tasting these sort of classic browns. They're just all really nice, and they are different, But guys, I wish I could be more. I'm trying to sense that kind of fruity punch, like a phenolic or estery something. But they're all somewhat mild to me today, with my nose like this or whatever. I don't have a cold, but my nose, this time of year runs like a sieve. It's really nice. It's just I'm not getting a. Once we play them off each other, and I better stop so we can drive to our brewers meeting. But it's just really, they're just really nice, and I like how the colors are staying not too dark. Yeah. I think I go too far sometimes with my brown, but that's really good.
So this next one is from Kurt. His strain is the Y yeast.
Ooh,
1469.
West Yorkshire.
Yep, West
Is
Yorkshire.
Is this the 1469 West Yorkshire ale yeast? Nice. Oh, cool label. That's a killer label. Hell yeah. Whoa, all these labels are badass. Oh, this is nice. It's the vinyl label.
Yeah. Very
cool. That's awesome. I love good labels. Very cool.
All right, let's get into Kurt's beer here.
For sure.
Isn't it amazing how everyone's canning now?
I'm blown away. I never got to do. I mean, even keeping it going here has been, now we're on track. But wow, you guys, how many people brewed in this little sort of experiment you guys did?
So I think we had eight different brewers, and I just brought. They sent me a couple extra of these ones, and those are the ones I brought.
Well, I'm grateful that I get to taste these. All right, so this is Kirk.
Yep.
To Kirk. Oh no, I want my nose to stop running. It's got a little of that kind of rocky sort of stone punch in there. No, now here. That's really good. They're all good, but this isn't fun. I'm getting just a little bit of hempiness in this one. Are you?
Oh yeah.
No.
Mm-mm. You sure it's not that doobie you just smoked?
I don't smoke pot. Oh. I try to eat it every now and then, but it's been 2 years since I even had an edible. Okay. They just leave me groggy, but I would probably try it more. It helps me sleep, but gotta wake up and go and not be groggy. Man, again, kind of like I feel like the style should be passive in a way, meaning nothing blasting you too hard. And so far, that's kind of where I'm at. I think I'm at the place where I should kind of go back and forth.
Yeah.
But that's delicious.
Isn't it crazy how good these brewers are?
I don't know what to say.
It's awesome.
I mean, the fact that people are canning their own beers is impressive. I mean, and the other thing is these, which you may or may not want to tell everyone, these sat in my fridge for 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Because we could not meet up.
Yeah.
So
that's fine.
Yeah, but that's the other thing is if they can stay that stable and happy, after you gave them to me 4 or 5 weeks ago, I'm just impressed. I mean, it's hard enough to do that stuff here, and I mean these homebrewers have got to be hitting that ceiling of like, I don't know much more that I can learn. Like I already know that about you, but it's like these guys, this is really impressive.
It's a good group of guys.
Wow. I mean, I never got to be in a homebrewers group or anything. I had kids and I was trying to figure out how to open this place. But it's like, this is high level. To me, this is very high level brewing. All right, so here we go. I'm really going to try to see if I can, discern or taste some different things here, meaning yeast-wise. What I do like about this one, this would be Matt's, is that as it's sitting here, we're getting a little bit of blast. You see that? Mm-hmm. And I realize, for me, that I feel like sometimes I wonder if that's yeast saying, "Hi, we're still here," but it wasn't overcarbonated or anything. But I like seeing little bubbles in the head, which none of the others have. I feel like sometimes it's the yeast saying, "Hi."
Mine seems to have a little ring, but definitely Matt's.
Yeah, you see those little teeny bubbles. Like
This is interesting too because when I tasted them for
Mm-hmm.
my experiment tasting, it was day after day,
Yeah.
so I didn't get a chance to really lay them out
Yeah. I
side
mean,
by
this
side
is.
like this.
I don't know if I can. I just want to put them out and really, it's really, yours has this, I mean, they all are so close, like in their tone,
Now,
like,
if you had to rank them, just personal preference, what would you rank them?
I feel like they are all tightly wound to a style, like a British English brown ale. I don't know. Right now I'm going to do my back and forth and see what's up.
Okay.
So this is fun. Going from yours to Matt's, I get a little bit of, and I use my words very freely, so this is not a diss. But when I go from yours to Matt's, I'm getting, God, it's almost like gin. So I like doing that because that's got to be yeast that is pulling my sort of senses into a different area. It literally is like a little bit of gin. That's so weird.
Interesting.
And I feel like that. Oh man, this was Sean.
Yep, Sean.
And so that is that again. Really, I feel like that shiny malt, super malty there. I'm not picking up massive yeast things. I was getting some yeast on Matt's, like a good difference,
Yeah, I think with this
Wow.
style, I mean, the yeast isn't going to be out in front like for
Yeah.
a hef or something like
Sure.
that.
Oh,
I
God,
think
totally.
this
And then
this is kind of showing us what the yeast is helping accentuate.
right. That might be because this, to me, this is a really passive style. If you do it right, I feel like it should be somewhat benign and not in your face. And so far, they're all delicious and doing that. Um, I do feel like the grain bill on this style is what should shine through more. And I'm getting a lot of that. I feel like, and maybe that's inhibiting my ability to kind of sense the differences in the yeast because they're all doing what I think they should be doing for this style, which is like more maltiness, more who gave me a little more hemp? Was it Sean?
That one was
Or
Sean.
was it
Yep.
yeah. And I thought that
Or
was
no,
kind of fun.
maybe it was Kurt.
Maybe it was Kurt.
Yep, the last one was.
Yeah, it might have been. I'd have to review the tape.
Full review.
But geez, oh Pete's, man. I mean, they're all just really good. And it's like, I just feel like that. I do not like Newcastle really particularly, but these are all in the style range, and they're just giving, not giving, but they're just really nailing the style. And it's cool that I'm tasting that sort of shiny malty thing that I always get from a good British brown. Yeah, but I'm trying really hard to kind of differentiate, but they all are doing.
I think Kurt's really stood out to me because it seemed like it was the most different, and different meaning maybe there was a little bit more yeast profile like shining through, which just gave it another dimension for me.
Now, who had the chocolate? Was that Sean?
I think that's the one that you said you picked up the chocolate, but they all have.
They have a little bit of pinch of chocolate.
Yeah, the chocolate malt.
And no roast in any of that crap, right?
I don't think so. And
yes, more relaxed.
Yeah, you definitely don't want roast. Definitely, wow. I think maybe.
Wow. Man, like this one, again, it's hard because you're going off and playing them off. Then I feel like I can taste some yeast differences. But it's hard because if they're all British strains,
yeah,
then that's pretty tight. You know what I mean? It's like really hard to kind of move. I almost wish there was an SO4 here so I could taste it because I personally believe the SO4 against any of these yeast strains is very boring compared to this stuff. Liquid yeast, I mean, these Personally, I think for me, having all of these really nice yeast strains is it would have been cool to have just like a dry SO4 against all of that, because that might have helped, because these are very nice yeast strains judging by what I'm seeing. And it's like, I think that starting with a nice liquid yeast is a great way to go. Obviously, I've been diving into Omega a lot this year, Heliogazer and Cosmic Punch to play with hazy stuff, which I'm going to make you taste before you leave. Hopefully someone will drive us to our meeting. Yeah, anyway, but I just think these are all very, very good. And I wish I had more to say. I wish I did, but they're very good. And there's slight profile differences to my nose, but not tons. And I feel like what I am getting, there's some colorful things happening in each of them. So I have to pick what I like best.
Yep,
is that true?
In order.
Now I like yours.
No, you don't have to say
I like you too.
Because it's just boring.
I gotta not go there next. I'm gonna go here. For the record, if I haven't said it, this is a boring style, but I think that's good. But I think that these yeasts are making it not dull, which that's good. None of these are dull to me.
Okay, let's do this. Maybe this might make it easier. What do you think the consumer would want to buy? Since we're in a professional environment, what would you pick to try and put out?
I got it. This is Matt's, right? Bedford?
Yep.
So from Bedford, and I'm hoping this is the yeast. Maybe I'm going to get somewhere with this. Maybe I won't. It's anise. I'm getting anise now for sure. 100% anise. Just very light. Just so you know. Sean's, I'm getting this really shiny British thing. And now I'm not. Really, yeah. These are good. So don't get shitty with me.
Yeah.
These two.
It looks like it's between Kurt and
Sean.
Sean.
If I had to pick one, I'd want to have a pint of, which I try not to drink a pint of craft beer. I try to kid myself, and I'll do little snifters.
Right.
And then at the end of a night in the kitchen, I'll have a good couple pints that way. But I feel better just, doing 8 ounces, 6 ounces at a time.
It's a shootout between Sean and Kurt.
But these are great.
No, those
make
are good.
It clear.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed them all, beyond measure, really. They're impressive. Yep. So this one, jeez. I feel like I'm being drawn to Sean's. Maybe that's the hempier one, which again, I realize there's no dry hopping here.
Right.
Kind of drawn to this one, but this one is very good. If I were picking, I guess I'd have to pick these two, and I can't really. I'm trying.
It's a toss-up, in other words.
Well, what's cool about this one, Kurt's, yeah. Kurt, is that right when I think this is going to rise up and do something weird, it just stops and it stays stable as far as flavor, and it just, again, does what I think it's supposed to do. This one. This one's got a little more shine, a little more British attitude to me, but it's hard. And again, look at those colors. Look, it's crazy.
Ooh,
you guys, yeah, all of them. When you were tossing around the cans, I was like,
"How was that tossing around the cans?
Chill out." I know. Well, I was like, "What if there's yeast at the bottom?" You guys don't have any yeast at the bottom.
Yeah.
Why?
Because we're awesome.
Yeah, but did you guys filter or something?
No.
Sorry.
Gelatin.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh boy, I've never done that.
I've never used gelatin before this experiment, but I did.
What did it look like?
Everyone else did, and I had to.
What did the dregs look like? Did it look weird, or?
I did.
Obviously, I'm a world flock guy.
Yeah.
I have just biofine once or twice in the big fermenters, but.
I did my gelatin right before kegging, so it stayed in the fermenter.
So yeah. So when you
racked out. I'm assuming everyone else that did it in the keg probably had a nice gelatinous pint.
Yeah.
Their first pour.
Oh, okay.
So.
Okay.
But
And
they're all clear as a bell.
I mean, I can see that, like stupid clear, which I also think is cool because when you have a nice clear beer like all of these, I do think you get to get the grain. I'm just saying, maybe because you guys did you all use gelatin?
Yep.
So maybe that's helping the malt come through, and I feel like I'm mostly blasted with the malt, and I personally think that that's probably what's supposed to happen here.
Yeah,
that's just my opinion. I feel like this style should be a big malt blast, and I'm getting that all across the board. But the sort of mild steering from each different strain is super mild. Although, again, I'm getting anise here, and that's one more time.
Let me ask you this:
big time, and it's very mild, but it's definitely there. That's the only big fat thing.
Which strain would you try here at Sleepwalker?
So if I were gonna make a British brown, like a traditional, like you guys, I feel like this is traditional for me. Let me remind me of the strains. So I'm really digging I like the West Yorkshire.
Yes.
Because me mum's from there. No, I'm joking. But I do like that concept a bit because I'm liking. Ooh, is that really a picture of the yeast?
I think so.
Magnified 200 times.
Yeah.
One more time. I just got to go back from these ones.
You guys might need to send them another can.
You know? Now, can I know the yeast strain for this one?
Yep, that's Sean's is WLP005.
And it doesn't say
it's
the name
British
of it or anything.
Ale yeast.
Yeah, British ale yeast. This is super, to me, out of all of them, and I will say that, out of all of these 4 samples, this one, it's 005.
Yep.
This is the one, and you got same grain bill.
Yep.
This is the one that tastes most British to me. So I would say, for me, that's super clear. And I have had, I did go to England when I was a kid, 16.
How many beers did you have?
A lot.
Cool.
But I was drinking a lot of Carlsberg out of a can, and I was drinking. I drank a lot of lager and limes Carlsberg because I was 16 and I needed something a little sweet, which is at the time they would tease me because it's a female beer because the little roses lime juice and it was hot as hell over there. It was 1988, and so a little of that and everything was served at room temperature. But I did drink plenty of other beers while I was there. But at my home, with growing up with my dad and my brother, they were really into Samuel Smith. So, and they loved it way more than me. I felt like that malt character was so blast you in the face. But this would be Sean's, to me, is if you're just going off of what tastes like a real British brown ale, like this is that.
It's good to know.
But there's something about Kurtz that's really, really nice. And it's super passive. It's super not in your face.
Well, let me just go ahead and spoiler alert. I picked Kurt as my favorite.
Did you?
Yeah.
I think if you're going for real English, personally, I think that's Sean. I am stuck on Kurtz a little bit. These two are delicious. I don't like going back and forth that much with these two against these two. I feel like that's where I picked up that anise flavor here. Just very, very minimal. You're not getting the anise, are you?
No.
That's so wild. Why don't you should almost try and
give me some
go back to it and just see, which is not a bad thing, but that may also be a hint of yeast.
Number 2?
Yeast character. Oh, you mixed yours up?
No, I kept them in order. I'm a professional.
I'm just a little blown away that these are all homebrewed. I mean, they're just very, man. I don't, I mean, I know I was, got the hang of brewing at home for sure, but this is pretty cool. And then these are 6, no anise.
No.
God, isn't that weird? I mean, I was going back and forth.
Your palate's way better than mine.
That's not true at all. But anyways, I'm grateful that you let me do this. This is, I would love to do it again. And maybe at a time when I'm not leaking out my nose, but this
Well, we're going to do an experiment every year. We don't know what this year's experiment is, but
Well, if you're,
I'll have them send enough so you can try some of those too.
the other cool thing is, I guess it's a homebrewers group that I'm not a part of, and I can't really do small batches because you guys do the same grain bill, which is super cool.
Yeah.
But I would love to just keep tasting. I'm blown away. I mean, sincerely, like this is like, you could, if you, I'm sure that all of the fellas or ladies in your homebrew group, like you can go all over the place and taste beer by professional brewers or master brewers, you know?
Mhm. Like you.
But I love that you could do that and go where there are master brewers who like to sort of tout their bullshit. And I'm tasting 4 beers from 4 people. Obviously, you're technically professional now, but it's like they're just so good, and you know, and you know,
thanks.
it's just really good. I'm grateful. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for tasting them.
No, I'm grateful. We also have to go somewhere, you and me.
Yes.
But the other thing that I would say, and I try to say this to my homebrew friends or people I meet, is that I look at what I do as just home brewing on steroids, because it's not like I'm brewing in 10 barrel, 20 barrel, 30 barrel, 80 barrel vessels. But anyways, shout out to all these guys and you. Good job.
Shout out to you.
Oh, thank
you.
you,
Taught
man.
me everything I know.
Bullshit, man. You believe this shit? This is from that party last night. They just broke my shit.
Is that the party where people were dancing on the bar top?
No, that was New Year's. You don't need those?
No, I'm saving them for this.
All right.